Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live Sports, where we don't believe sky's the limit. Wigan away at Bradford. 5 minutes on the clock, still 0-0. Wigan putting a chip kick into this right-hand corner. Oh, just couldn't get picked up by Zach Eckersley. I think that will be a knock-on. Whether the first knock-on was by Eckersley or a Bull, I'm not too sure. One thing I will say, I've been a little bit tardy. I think the Wigan lineup is correct. I'm not sure about I'm not 100% sure about the Bradford lineup. Garth Smith's in live chat. Hi Garth, I hope you're doing well, mate. I hope you've had a fantastic week. And he says, hi Jimmy James, let's get ready to rock. Let's get ready to rock indeed, mate. We need 2 points tonight. We always need 2 points, don't we? But what I mean is, we've been given an in thanks to Lee beating Leeds the other night by 2 points. It matters not. The points went to Lee. Wigan cannot afford a slip up today at all. And we're in round 23. We are still going to be relying on another slip up by the Leeds Rhinos, because that points difference, it's not going to get overturned now before the end of the season. So we've got let's have a look now. I think the last time I checked it was something like 220, 230 points, the difference. So unless something bizarre happens or a miracle happens, that points difference is always going to be, before the end of this season, it's always going to be in the Leeds Rhinos' favour. And with round 23 on the clock, we're not going to be overturning that difference. So we need somebody else to do us a favour if we're going to take the leader's shield. Wigan now, if we can win today, which we should, let's be honest, it's not going to be easy, but we should take the 2 points today. That puts us level on 36 points with the Leeds Rhinos. That game in hand has gone now. We will be level on top. We just have to win today. We cannot be relying on anybody else doing us a favour. We've got that final game coming up against the Leeds Rhinos. Now, I know in the past I've said I'm away on a cruise and when that game's being played, but I think I looked at the dates and I think I get back on the day that game is played. So hopefully it's we can get away from the cruise early and get back for that game. I don't want to be missing Leeds and Wigan. Assuming that everything goes to form now, like it should do, that could be the decider for the League Leaders Shield this season. Now, if Wigan don't slip up, if Hull don't slip up, then we're going into that final, into that game. That's going to decide the League Leaders Shield. What a massive game that is going to be. We don't want to be relying on anyone else doing us a favour, and that points difference is the key. So no slip-ups from Wigan. Because ultimately, if we do have a slip-up before we play Leeds, yeah, if we beat Leeds, we'll go back level on points with them, is what I'm trying to say. But it won't be any use to us because of the points difference. So we can't afford any slip-ups. That kick's too long there from Wigan. And then it's Caleb Akins who tries getting a quick restart. Too quick for the referee. He runs into Wally Partington and bounces straight backwards. The referee blows his whistle and says, right, start that again. So Bradford up to their own 30. The field looks, there's enough grass on it, but like most of the grass around the UK, we've had such a fantastic summer. It's looking a little bit sparse in places. You know, there is grass there, but it looks more like straw. It's just good to see the Bradford Bulls back in Super League. Garth Smith, what do you think, mate? Do you think this goes down to that game against... Do you think it goes to the game against the Leeds Rhinos? Is it round 27? No, it's not. It's round 26. The game after is round 27. That ball's gone up high there. Adam Kieran's taken it well. Ethan Ryan came steaming in. Took out, clearly took out Adam Kieran while he was in the air and kept hold of him as well. But Ollie Partington came over. No drama though. Just a penalty to the Warriors. We had the bad news about Noah Hodgkinson. He's done for the season. Shame for the lad because he's been having a corker. And no Brad O'Neill tonight or Sam Walters. Both getting the... Brad O'Neill got his ban retrospectively from the last time out against Toulouse. He got 10 minutes in the bin, but after it was reviewed, he got a red, so he misses tonight. Sam Walters, I didn't see what Sam Walters did, but he got a red retrospectively. But because it now takes him over, is it over 30 points or whatever he's got now from his 7-game suspension, he gets a 2-game ban. So they just that's two brand new sets of 6 there for the Warriors. Bradford holding on too long, trying to slow Wigan down. Wigan trying to come down that left-hand side. Loose pass there from Smith, but Jake Wardle's just waltzed through there. Poor defending from Bradford, and that's the first points on the board for the Warriors. Get in. That's just what we need. Do you know, we should win this, and ultimately we should win it quite comfortably, but until the points are on the board, at least, you always have that little doubt. I just go back to what happened at Huddersfield earlier in the season, and we don't want any of that nonsense happening again. Garth Smith in live chat says, should be a great game at Headingley. Need a full squad. Yeah, we do, mate. We do. But you know, we're well capable. Look, I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs. You already know this. But at Wigan, they can beat anybody on the day. You know, that includes the Aussies. You know, I think whether we could do it if we went in the NRL, that intensity week in, week out, I think that might be a different matter. But that's not what we're talking about, is it? If we go to Headingley, yeah, it's going to be hostile. It's always hostile when Wigan come to town. There's going to be extra hostility from the terraces on the field as well. You know, with so much at stake, because Leeds' final game is against Hull FC. You would expect Leeds to take the points against Hull FC, final game of the season, if they need it for the League Leaders Shield. Do you know the one game I'm looking at? No points there with the conversion. Wigan take a 6-0 lead. When I look at Leeds' games that they've got coming up, York, all right, they're away at York, but you'd expect them to turn York over. They've got to go to St Helens. Now, as a rule, you'd be thinking, that's a banana skin, isn't it? You know, and it could still be a banana skin. However, the way that St Helens are at the minute, I'm not banking on them doing us any favours. No, I'm not saying for 1 minute that they won't put effort in to do Wigan a favour, but they're not playing that well at the minute anyway, are they? So I can't really see any more banana skins for Leeds other than when they play Wigan. And Garth Smith saying, great news for Hull FC with the signing of Dale Cherry Evans. That's a big signing. That I only saw it earlier on today, mate. That's a bit of a shot in the arm, isn't it, for Hull FC? That'll put a bit of a buzz in the stands. It shows good intent as well. It's good to see. But looking at Wigan's final games, we've got, obviously we've got to get over the line here first. We've then got Wakefield. Not going to be an easy game, that. We've got Hull KR. Despite their slump in form, not going to be an easy game. The good news is it's at the Brick Community Stadium. We've then got Leeds, and our final game is at home against the Catalan Dragons. I'd expect us to take the points there. The potential banana skin is against Wakefield. Now, when we played at Wakefield, they were absolutely awful, diabolical, a shambles. The worst. The first half was appalling. The second half was an absolute, almost a disgrace. I felt sorry for the fans having to watch that. They'll have a point to prove, won't they? And if they're going to come to Wigan with the potential of stopping Wigan from grabbing that league leader's shield, I'm pretty sure they will do their utmost. Now you can say, well, Leeds and Wakefield, there's that Yorkshire rivalry, and I think Wakefield would sooner put one over on Wigan and stop them taking the title than help Leeds out, put it that way. So yeah, this season has been it's been a little topsy-turvy, hasn't it? One of the surprises for me, I've got to say, has been Hull KR, because they've been absolutely, they've been shocking. I mean, they've won the last four. Just looking at the results, they've won the last four, and they're still on 30. They're still on 30 points. Whether the fact that their late start to the season because of the Club World Championship affected them, Kieran's just got over the line there for the Warriors. It was a flat pass that he took at pace, and two Bradford Bulls defenders that couldn't stop his momentum. That's another 4 on the board for the Warriors. It's going to be a little bit more of a tricky conversion attempt to come for Harry Smith, but no reason he shouldn't get that over. Young man there with ginger hair, shirt open, a kind of, I think it was Aldi, the Aldi Strongbow. I can't remember the name of it. It's quite nice, actually. You know, the flavoured one. You need to be buttoning that shirt up, son. You'll be getting sunstroke. I know from experience, us gingers. I'm not sure what the attendance is today. Doesn't look the biggest from the Bradford Bulls. I'm not sure how many Wigan have taken. It was a flat pass from Bevan French to his right hand side, and he fizzed it into the breadbasket of Adam Kieran. Kieran bounced off the first tackle. Who was that with the second? I think it was Jaden Ockenboer. Couldn't keep him out. Daz Reynolds says, big up to yourself, Daz. I hope you're doing well, mate. I've got the golf later on tonight. The final couple of hours of the FedEx St Jude Championship. So if you want to join us for that, feel free. Live chat's open. It's as much about the live chat as the golf, to be honest. But there's not a lot of golf on YouTube, but apart from the PGA, they've got it all sewn up and they're tight as a tick with everything. So we've got our own animations, and you just put that to the left of the post, Harry Smith. So cheer from the crowd. Wigan stay on 10. Yeah. Dasranda says, off topic, did Rory make the cut last night? Mate, these tournaments, there is no cut. The field, there's only 70 players start. Normally there's 144, isn't there? And then you get a cut and it comes down to 72 or thereabouts, depending on what the scoring is. So there's no cut. What they do is there's three FedEx tournaments now, so there's 70. I think then it gets cut down to, so if you're not in the whole tournament, the whole 4 days, if you don't make it into the top 50, you're then cut from the FedEx Championship, and then it'll be the next 50 go on to the FedEx, the next one, if that makes sense, and then that gets cut down to 20, 25, and then the final 25, I think it is, something like that, they go into the final 4 days. So there's no cut like there is a normal PGA tournament. Frankie James is in live chat. She said, hi, Frankie. Frankie, I enjoyed my tea. I tell you what, though, I've only just made it, and I've not got the Bradford Bulls lineup quite right yet. So I'm going to have a little look at that and get it sorted. Wigan are just half a yard short of the Bulls line, right under the post. They've got the 5th tackle coming up, Bevan French. He puts a little grubber kick along the grounding, and it's taken well because that ground looks hard and that ball is bouncing. Not sure who it was who picked it up, but I'm going to have a guess. I'm going to say it was Dan Russell, and if it wasn't, whoever did pick it up, well done. 3 tackles gone. Bradford up to their own 20. Good drive there from Wacker Blake up to the 30. Do you know, it is funny because when you look at the Bradford Bulls pitch, it's notorious, isn't it? Because it's got the curved, the in-goal area, it sort of curls up, and it's a big in-goal area as well. And yet, when you look at the markings that are on the pitch, it all sort of gets condensed. It's really confusing looking at where the players are now. Trying to suss out what the markings are on the pitch. You've normally got the 10, 20, 30, the 40, then the halfway line. The 40 on here looks like it's almost right next to the 30. Nice offload in the tackle there from Bevan French to Kerr. Kerr gets an offload away. Then Harry Smith picks it up. Harry Smith's running around the back of play, looking around, and the player who was on the floor just grabs him by the legs. I don't think he saw him. Chip comes into the corner by Wigan on the 5th. Now it's another set of 6. That ball's being bounced around. Patrick Maygo's kept hold of it. Well, I thought the tackle was complete. Referee says no, and it's a 0 tackle. What can Thompson do? 5 yards out, really central. He's about 3 yards out now. Kerr comes in at dummy half, spreads it right to Bevan French. Little handoff to Partington. Partington straightens it up. He's driving towards the line. Looked like he was going to get over there until number 19, Will Gardner, came in and completed that tackle. Smith puts a little kick in. He was going to go after it himself. Picked up by Caleb Akins, and he comes away, gets to about 5 yards out. Hits the dirt. Good defensive set that from the Bulls. As he's saying, I know Thursday he was 4 over. Yeah, he's had a bit of a shocker, mate, to be honest. As says, cricket starts Wednesday. It sure does, mate. I'm already planning that. I've got 5 days of live streaming the first test, England, Pakistan, and got to fit the football in as well. It's going to be busy, busy, busy. We'll manage it somehow. 5th tackle on Wigan's 30. It's drilled into touch. I don't know why they didn't put the high kick into the corner. Maybe they just want to get some air into the lungs. But Liam Marshall just let that one bounce past him into touch. So it'll be a hand over to Wigan. Patrick Maygo with the ball on Wigan's 10. Kerr in at dummy half. Short pass to Marshall. Marshall drives it forward, makes about 8 yards. What can Eckersley do? He's trying to get some work in. Gets up to the, well, I don't know if it's the 30 or the 40. Because the 30, the gap between the 30 and the 40 yard line on this pitch is about 5 yards, I would say. Well, that was a forward pass there from Kerr. He's got away with it. Not flat, it was definitely forward. So Smith, 20 yards out, puts a high kick into the corner over to that left-hand side. And that's taken by Jaden Akunbo. Does well. Wigan moving up quickly, though, trying to keep the Bradford Bulls penned in now into this corner. They're just over their own 10 now, probably about 14 yards out. Now they're about 25 yards out. Wigan have just been pinged for offside. You could see they were trying to keep Bradford from making any yardage, trying to make them kick from deep. Just a little bit too far, a little bit too quick off the mark. That's a good kick. It's on the sideline. It's either going to be from the 40 or the 30. If you don't know what I mean, if you ever look at Bradford Bulls' pitch, now Partington might be done there for a lift of a leg. It's not a tip, but it's a lift of a leg. It is another penalty. Puts in some good tackles, does Ollie Partington. Oh, we're just having a look at referees. Looks hotter than the glass blower's arse. I don't blame him, but he's sort of saying, hang on a minute. I don't know how the plays are going on, if the referee's blowing. So now, down this left-hand side, Bradford will be starting about 15 yards out. Akers spreads it to the right. They've got an overlap there of Bradford, but Harry Smith comes in and makes the tackle, so it nullifies that. Just for a second there, you could see Liam Marshall just sort of feathering his movements, if that makes sense. Well, they're going to be over here, are the Bulls? Surely they are. Has it been grounded or knocked on? Referee's right on the spot. He's saying it's been knocked on. So it was... It's Mellor who's got... There was an offload there from Joe Mellor. And is it... I can't see who it was from Bradford because there was 3 Wigan players covering him. But the referee was right on Johnny on the spot as he needed to be. And he says it was knocked on, so Wigan survived that scare. Good effort, though, that from the Bradford Bulls. Daz says Trent Rockets won versus Leeds Sunrisers tomorrow, and Trent Rockets men and Manchester Supergiants in the 100 finals. Be a good... it'll be a good showdown, that, mate. From my point of view, living in Devon now, but born in Manchester, let's go Supergiants. Wigan, 5th tackle, they're on Bradford's 40, down that left-hand side. I think Keir McDermott's knocked that on as he got up to play the ball. Has he? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, no. It was Taylor Kerr who was in at dummy half. He had only a little juggle. The slightest. He did well to see that, actually, the referee. So it's Bradford in possession, just outside Wigan's 40. Down this left-hand side, 3 tackles gone. Just got to sort that clock out. What's that, you plum? Uh, 33, there we go. They're a yard short, are Bradford, down that right-hand side. 5th tackle on the 10-yard line. It's chipped over to his left-hand side. It's been picked up by Eckersley. Can he get away for a foot rate? No. Almost. Number 11, Dan Russell for Bradford. He just managed to get a tackle in. If not, it would have been a foot race almost the length of the field. And there's not many that will stay with Zach Eckersley once he gets in full flight. Now Bradford have just been penalised, messing about with the play of the ball. It was Jaden Okundo. He was just lying on and not moving. Referee pings him for it. He stands up and says, what? You know, you've got to make some attempt to get off the players. Daz says, what's that on the screen behind you? Is it Wigan v Hull? It is, mate. At the start of it, it's the Hull derby. I think Hull KR and Hull FC. Then there's Wigan and might be Huddersfield. And I think Wigan and Hull. Hull FC. But it's a while since I put it together, so I might be wrong, mate. I don't think I am. I'd love to be able to show the whole game as well, but I just know as soon as we put it up there, we'll just get pinged straight away. They'll take the stream down. Right, what's the referee doing now? Oh, we've got a doctor on. That's why he stopped it straight away. Dazzy's saying, who's Wigan got? Wigan next week, mate. I think they've got, if I won't guess, I'll tell you. I will find out. We've got we've got Wakefield at home, but that's the potential banana skin, Daz. That is a potential banana skin. Pardon me. Just had a cracking tea. Frankie James made us an omelette with tomatoes in it and something else and a big lump of, I don't know if it was rump steak, sirloin steak or whatever. Flipping lovely. On the 5th, 12 yards out, Harry Smith, central, puts a chip into the left-hand side, knocked on by Wigan. So it'll be the handover, and Bradford in possession on their own 20. Yeah, so to answer your question, mate, we've got Wakefield next. To answer your question, mate, we've got Wakefield next week. What day is that? Wigan Huddersfield? Do you mean the one that was behind me? It was the latest. It was the latest game when I lost a bit of respect for Huddersfield on that day. I've got to say, they were a yard short. Bradford down this left-hand side. I don't know what the referee's doing here. He's blowing his whistle, and now we've got another player down. And because the doctor, oh, that's fair enough. I didn't see that, so apologies. The doctor's on the field, so as soon as the doctor comes on, that's it. Play stops, regardless of what's happening. Yeah, we do need a fast start in that game against Wakefield, mate, for sure. Just put them to sleep. And just kind of, it's on the 21st. So we've got, it'll be next Friday night, I think it is, at 8 o'clock. Is it? It's on the 21st. 21st at 8 o'clock. Just trying to think now, is the 21st of August this year, is it Thursday or Friday? It's going to be Friday, isn't it? Saturday today. Now Patrick May goes down getting treatment, by the way. We're not missing anything, so while we're doing that, I'll take this opportunity to sort my clock out. I did say clock. Don't panic if it goes a little bit on the bonk for a moment. 31. Just got to get it to 31-12. So, yeah, he's walking off is Patrick Mago, so Sam S.A. Jr. will come on. That'll be a HIA, so I hope he passes that Mago, because this is really important. This next decision for Patrick Mago, his decision with his answers, because if he doesn't pass his HIA, it's going to be 7 days. That's going to rule him out of that Wakefield clash. Kieran O'Day says Bradford 24, Wigan Warriors 20. Well, I hope you're wrong from my point of view, mate. But Kieran, if you're a Bradford fan, you're not out of this game. Almost 32 minutes on the clock, and we're not missing anything. There's a challenge coming in at the moment for a knock on. Are you, Kieran, are you a Bradford Bulls fan? Or are you a Saints fan just trying to get on my nerves? Which you're entitled to do, mate. Adam Kieran went for a ball steal there. And this is why someone's upset the dogs. This is why Bradford are appealing that decision of a knock-on that went against them. Frankie and Daz talking in live chat about that eclipse. Challenge unsuccessful. It was worth an attempt, really, but referees union sticking together. Yeah, we saw that eclipse down here in Devon. It was all right, but it didn't go fully dark. Dark enough though, and it was a hot day. The slightest of slight breezes just to try and keep cool, and as soon as the eclipse started, it does what it always does when like sundown, that breeze dropped. All the birds didn't have a clue what to do. Pete Cunliffe, hello Peter, hope you're doing well, mate. I'm having issues watching on Sky Sports Plus, unbelievable. Mate, not just you. The last game I did, and it should have been on Sky Sports, and because it was the football's back on, isn't it? And it was the EFL and what have you. I couldn't find the Wigan game behind the red button, and I enjoyed. I ended up getting the stream from elsewhere. I enjoyed it still the same, you know, and we were able to do the live stream. But that kick comes in, chasing after it is Bevan French. He leaps for it, takes it out of the air. Poor that from Bradford. Another 4 points on the board for the Warriors. That was just a little chip kick through, almost like a Shadrach move. I know that Shadrach move Wigan do is from the base of the scrum, isn't it? But it almost looked like a set move. And Smith put the kick in from about 22 yards out. Bevan French, a clean run through, challenge. I don't know who that was for Bradford, but it looks really bad from him. And it's not. It was Caleb Aikens. He's kind of stood waiting for that ball coming down. Has no momentum or anything. And coming at pace is Bevan French. French jumps. And Aikens, who stood there, he just can't get the height. And as soon as French takes it, he falls over the line. And that's the point. It's done. But I would say that was a set move, that, from the Warriors. And Daz Reynolds says, went to the Diva Stadium today. Chester beat Kings Lynn 2-0. Nice one, mate. I bet it was a good day for watching football. Have a few beers as well. Daz says, is it on Sky Sports Action tonight as well? It's on. I've got it on Sky Sports Plus. And Peter Cunliffe says, trouble sinking, truly cheesed off. Glad you're covering the game. Was really looking forward to watching. seen Virgin having trouble with the handshake with Sky. Current score, please. Wigan now 16, mate. Now that conversion's just gone over. Wigan winning 16-0, mate. But to you know the deal that Sky are going to cover every one of the Super League for 2026 games. That's fine. Some of them are on Sky Action, some of them are on different channels or whatever, and it's brilliant, the coverage of it. And the ones that can't be on, they're behind the red button. Superb. However, as soon as the football was on last week, well, I couldn't find the rugby anywhere behind that red button. And it's almost like they give it a pair of fingers and, well, the football's back now, so... Well, so what? What about all the Rugby League fans who's covered... You know, we've covered all the games all through this season, and now it's coming towards the end. You can't tail your coverage off just because the football's starting again. So it's been a little bit poor from Sky. You're welcome, Peter, mate. And the thing is, even if you're watching the game, at least you can come here, and if something's getting on your nerves, you can vent, can't you? There's no good shouting at the television. I've done it myself in the past. You can come on here and vent, mate. $35.40, so we've just got to stop that clock a second. It's a goal line dropout for Bradford. Just got over 4 minutes to go until half time. Oh shit, O'Connor runs in then. It's almost like he's got no imagination of what pain is when he runs, O'Connor. You know, for such a young lad. Now Sam Eze Jr., he's having a good go. I think he'll be here next season, won't he? Kerr, jinking and a jiving. He stopped a yard short, right under the post. Smith in at dummy half, spreads it right to French. A little wraparound pass there to Adam Kieran. Now he's trying to get he's over the line, but he can't get that ball down. Definitely not, because number 28, Jamie Gill, he lies underneath. And so good defending there from Bradford. Wigan with one tackle to go after this pretty much. Sam Eze Jr., he's about 5 yards out. Kerr comes in at dummy half. Spreads it to the left-hand side. Now Smith switches it right. It's with French. He puts a little kick through. It went straight. It was... who was that? Chris Atkin, number 32. It would have been trouble, that, for Bradford, because going at pace was Zach Eckersley and Adam Kieran. But he stuck an arm out, and it stuck as well. So, now Eze has been done for messing about the play of the ball. So it's a penalty to Bradford. They'll be starting just inside their own half down this left-hand side. Daz Reynolds says, is there a game on the BBC soon as well? I don't know, mate. But that's good. It'd be just so good. It'd be so good for Rugby League if we could get good coverage and we could get it on terrestrial TV so everybody can watch it. You know, I can remember when I was a kid and my grandma, when it used to be on, she used to love watching the Rugby League because it's a proper man's game, isn't it? That's why I never played it. It's too rough for me. But always loved watching it. Fulton's about 1.5 yards short for Bradford. Good tackle there. Well, we're going to be going upstairs here, so I'll stop my clock because they're over the line there, Bradford, but could have been knocked on. It could have been a double movement also. On-field decision is no try. I just want to have a look at this again and see exactly what happened. Peter Cunliffe says, it's bullshit paying for subscription. It stinks. It certainly does, mate. I'm not shouting as long as we're winning. That's all that matters, mate. We used to listen to the wireless. Yes, same thing on a Sunday afternoon. So looking at this now. So it held up And it's either going to be a knock-on or a double movement, so this won't be a try. It's just what they're going to go for. Well, decision's pending. Not a try for me, it's a knock-on or, yeah, no try. So that'll be the handover to Wigan. It was Ryan Sutton. He's been around some years, hasn't he? Good effort from Ryan Sutton, but good defence from the Warriors as well. Peter Cunliffe on the wireless. Not even the radio, the wireless. So my grandparents, they used to have a wireless. I used to listen to it before I used to go to school in the morning. Terry Wogan, Radio 2. And on this wireless, it had like crocodile skin on the outside of it. Happy days. Happy days. That's a penalty to Wigan. So Harry Smith puts it right on the halfway line. That's where the Warriors will be starting from. Just over a minute to go. Let's get this clock bang on. There we are. Oh, that was a forward pass from Kerr to Eze. A good yard forward. Not pinged though. Sometimes you think it's a TV angle. Not on that occasion. It was definitely forward. So on the third tackle, loose pass from Smith. Picked up by Jai Field, who's been quiet this first half. On the 20. Now he's gone behind Kerr, so he takes a voluntary tackle. Referee calls surrender. Still got another tackle. A chip kick comes through on the 4th from Bevan French. And this time it's number 32, Chris Aitken, takes a little bit of a gamble. I'm not sure he could have got there anyway. Shepherds that out. So it will be, he must have touched him as it was going out because it's going to be a goal line dropout. But the clock's been stopped with 14 seconds to go. Do Wigan go for a cheeky drop goal? Well, it's Harry Smith who's picked that up. He has gone for a drop goal from the 40-yard line. I think he's pushed it to the left-hand side. I was half joking when I said that, and as soon as I saw him pick it up, that's it. That's half time. So we go in. Bradford 0, Wigan 16. And to be honest, I think the fair value for that. Let's just set my clock up for the second half. Right, I've just got to remember to set that going now. Yeah, I think the fair value, and that's a fair reflection of that first half. One thing that is noticeable, there's been a couple of decent efforts though from Bradford to get over that line. Unlucky with the held up, then unlucky with. I don't have volume, so I don't know if it was a knock on they did him for or a double movement. But Ryan Sutton, he was ever so close to getting in. So it's been. I'd say the score was probably about right. Two young fillies from Wigan, pint in hand, enjoying the rugby. Right, let's have a look what I'm missing. Daz Reynolds says, how far out is this for Wigan? I don't know what you mean, Daz. Daz says, do you think Wigan score 50 or more points? As the way things are going, mate, I don't think so. But with the amount of effort that Bradford have put in that first half, it's whether they can sustain it for the full 80 minutes. Now, I fell for this the other week when, a month now, when Wigan played away at Hull FC. And in the first half, Hull FC, amazing, tackled like demons. I can still see it now. They got pinged, I don't know how many times for offside, but it was a definite plan. Took a lot of energy because it was a hot day as well. But every time Wigan had the ball, as a line up, no dog leg, as a line up, and they kept that up. It kind of got, once we got to sort of 65, going from memory, 68 minutes, they just started to fade a little bit, which understandable. I mean, even if it was a winter game and you don't have the heat, to defend the way that Hull FC defended for 80 minutes takes some doing. But Bradford have put a good defensive effort in that first half as well. Whether they keep it up in the second half, I'm not too sure. If they don't, could Wigan put another 34 points on? Wish I'd stop doing that. Could they put another 34 points on Bradford? I don't think so today. I don't think so. If they did, they'd have to really be throwing the ball about and maybe conceding as well. And I think at the minute, 16-0, yeah, it's comfortable. However, a couple of quick tries for Bradford, whether it's through brilliance or a mistake, you get them converted, 16-12, and suddenly you're playing a game where you're under a little bit of pressure because you know you need the 2 points. I hope that Wigan are not going to think this game's done now. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, we've got Wakefield next. What are they going to bring to us? We battered them last time, but are they going to bring something, a sort of a revenge game? And suddenly you're all squaring this game. You know, they're professional enough, and Matty Pete at half time will be telling them, you know, everything that we just spoke about. You know, don't take this game for granted first. Let's get it won. I could see Wigan getting into the 30s, maybe early 40s. 50 might be pushing it a little bit, but I suppose if Bradford start to flag a little, then I could see Wigan getting into the 50s then. But, you know, Bradford would have to tail off pretty severely. St Helens, mate. They are, I think St Helens are playing now. I think St Helens are on the main Sky channel. Let's have a look, see if we can find the score. Right, Super League. Yeah, I'm sure they're playing now, and they are indeed. Blimey O'Reilly, Governor. Blimey O'Reilly, Governor. Peter Cunliffe says, where are you from? Originally from Manchester, mate, but I live in Devon now. Lived in Devon for 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. Yeah, currently... Don't fall off your chair. If anybody is recording it or doesn't want to know, I'm just going to talk about Wakefield and St Helens. So close your ears for a minute. I'll wave at the screen when I'm done. It's currently Wakefield 16, St Helens 30. Now either... Oh, well, don't look at live chat. Peter Cunliffe. 30 points to 16. Yeah, there's a few minutes still to go there. Yeah, what on earth has gone on there? Have Wakefield got injury worries? Well, they've just put another 4 on St Helens. Have Wakefield got injury concerns this weekend against St Helens? £16 points to 34. That's an absolute shocker, isn't it? Because, to be honest, they have, I think, Wakefield, when I had a look, I didn't see anything majorly bad. I think the only one that I saw that was definitely out was Pitts, Jay Pitts. But I've not heard anything more about that. Have St Helens got... Let's have a look at St Helens. Have St Helens got any of their star players? Are they back? Just having a look at the lineup now for Saints. Saints have got Wellesby, Robertson, Saylor, Walmsley, Wright, Host, Murphy. Murphy's got 2 tries today. Shorrocks, McDonald, Douglas, Davis, Hastings, and Slukafita. This is it. I mean, so they have got a few players back, St Helens, but even so, the way that they've been playing this season, I would have really expected Wakefield to do the points there. I expected Wakefield to have a bit of a slump, you know, where they go on a 3-4 games without a victory, and it's not happened. So kudos to them. Daz Reynolds says, any tips for golf tonight? Who do you think wins this tournament? I don't know, mate. From what I saw Daz yesterday, and I only saw it briefly, for Scotty Scheffler, as the Americans would say, for him to equal the course record of a 61, he had an absolute shocker as well. So, you know, I think he birdied something like 4 holes in a row, but his driving is all over the place. If he'd have sorted his driving out yesterday, you could have seen him breaking sub 60. I'm not joking when I say that. But I get that feeling when I look at this game now, looking at the field, he's got a 2-shot lead, but who's behind him? Just looking at it now, Hovland's 2 behind, him is 2 behind, 3 behind is Burns, Kim, Aberg, Tommy Fleetwood's on 7 under. So it's, I don't know. I think I'm going to probably have a bet a bit later on, and I'll probably lay him. I'll probably lay Scotty Scheffler and just hope somebody comes out the pack and can pip him. Peter Cunliffe says, Isaiah Wagner suffered a severe dislocated shoulder while driving through a gap to score his 5th try of the season. Oof. Isaiah Wagner. I thought he'd had more tries than that, to be honest. That's not good, mate. Dislocating your shoulder. I'm just looking at the two minutes left. St Helens now 40. Do you know, I'm looking at the stats from that game, Peter, and that's anybody who's listening actually. So Wakefield went 4 points up on 7 minutes, a smoothie try, converted by Sinfield. Wagner, he got his try on 12 minutes. And then it was just a plethora of tries. Saylor on 24 minutes, converted by Hastings. He's a bit of a machine, Hastings, at times. Murphy with the first of his on 28 minutes. Then Sinfield with a try and converted his own try. So Wakefield went in 16-12 up at half time. In this second half, Saints have put 28 points on Wakefield without response. Murphy on 48 minutes, Keeley on 64 minutes, Saylor on 69 minutes. Tries on 75 minutes, 77 minutes. That's an absolute shocker of the second half for Wakefield. Do you know, and we spoke about that in this first half when Wigan went and Wakefield were absolutely abysmal in the second half. Well, they've just repeated that feat here. Just before the players come out, I've got to go for a quick Jimmy Rids. I'll be straight back, ladies and gents. Yeah, Peter, another try, mate. Must be almost done. I'll just nip for a quick piddle. I'll be straight back. Teeth's underwater. Oh, perfect timing. The players are just coming out now. Top up again now. Peter Cunliffe says, Davis try, Wakefield poor tackling, St Helens got a lucky bounce and converted, 1 minute left. Shocker, mate, that for Wakefield. But this is good news for Wigan, because if Saints can find some more form before, excuse me, before they play the Leeds Rhinos, could be a good sign. We are back underway. Wigan kicking from right to left, playing in the... I've put it up there as navy blue. I didn't quite get the colour right, but it looks black. It is supposed to be navy blue, though. That's never navy blue, that. Unless it's my eyesight. Oh, and the other good news is, I've just seen him now. Patrick Mago must have passed his HIA, because he's starting this second half. Maybe that's why. That's why they've put him on. He's definitely passed his HIA, because he would have missed. It's a 7-day if you fail it, it's 7 days mandatory, isn't it? So he wouldn't have been available for Wakefield next week. Peter Cunliffe says, we need to win the rest of our games. Leeds losing was a result for us. Yep. Peter, it was. Looking at the running, I don't see if I don't see where Leeds slip up. I don't see where Leeds slip up against, apart from playing against Wigan. That's the banana skin that I was kind of, when I looked at the games remaining, I thought that was a highlighted game where, obviously, we need to win that. And their other games was against York, St Helens, and the final game of the season is against Hull FC. I wasn't holding out much hope for Leeds against St Helens. But after today's performance from Leeds, maybe getting a couple of players back, getting a little bit of confidence, maybe they could do us a favour. Would they do us a favour? They're professionals, aren't they? It won't come into it, I'm pretty sure. what I mean is I don't think they'll let Leeds win just to try and give Wigan a pair of fingers and stop us winning that League Leaders Shield. I don't think they'll slip up against York. I don't think they'll slip up against Hull FC. Final game of the season at Headingley as well. But then Hull FC, they're a funny team. If it had been away, it would have been more difficult. But I think ultimately they'd get over the line, Leeds, if they needed to, by hook or by crook. But the big game is going to be Wigan and Leeds. When I look at Wigan's fixtures, we've got Hull KR. Had a rubbish season, really, haven't they? But winning the last 4 on the bounce up to now. So it's... are they going to be coming into a little bit of form at the right time of the season for them? Not for us. Hopefully not. Bradford up to Wigan's 15-yard line, offloading the tackle there. And then that's a knock-on, surely. Number 28, Jamie Gill. He's a big lump of a lad, isn't he? Blimey. Knocks it on in the tackle. Might have been a little bit of a ball steal as well, but... Wigan in possession, on their own 20. Liam Marshall gets dragged to the floor. 2 tackles gone. Curran at dummy half. Spreads it right to Eckersley. The forwards, they must love Marshall and Eckersley when they come in doing that. When they come in doing that work for the pack. Daz, Wigan have got, to answer your question... Wigan, we've got Leeds, obviously. And then we have got Hull KR. It's a tricky running, actually, for Wigan. They've got... Next game up is Wakefield. Then we've got Hull KR. Then we've got the big one against Leeds. Final game of the season, not too worried about that. It's at home. And it's against... Now, people with a memory... will be thinking, oh no, but it's against the Catalan Dragons, so it should be 2 points that game, especially if Wigan need it for the title. But I can remember Catalan coming to Wigan and absolutely dicking us, and I don't think that would have happened again. But do you know what? How bad? Just to say, there's a scrum head and feed to the Warriors on Bradford's 20 central. They're going down that right hand side. They've got an overlap there, but Bevan French can't get the ball away. Now they're up to the 10 with O'Connor. Pretty central. Kerr keeps it coming left. It's with Smith into Mago. Mago into the first contact, bulldozes his way through it, puts his arm down. That for me is a try. We're going upstairs. Why? What? We're going upstairs. On-field decision is no try. Why? Because it was a fantastic... Unless he's lost it in the tackle, in which case that ball's been reefed out. Because there's 1, 2... There's 3... There's now going to be 4... Well, if it has come out, it's been knocked out. And I'm trying to see the player's number because you can just see the... No, he's kept his fingers on it. That's a try. That's a try. It looks like it's come away from him, but it's on his knee. His hand never loses contact with that ball. It's not bounced. Yeah, that's a try for me. Whether it will be or not, I don't know. Martin Lawrenson says, refs always try to find a reason to disallow every Wigan try. Well, they've done it again. Martin, they've done it again. And for me, he never lost contact with that ball. And if it did come out, it was knocked out. And there was 3 players, possibly 4 in the tackle eventually. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Peter Cunliffe says it looks grounded to me. It did come loose, but his hand never His hands are that big. He never left contact with the ball. They've given it as probably not enough not enough evidence to overturn the on-field decision. That's what they'll say. Either way, we continue. Yeah, so the running. Who was asking me? Daz Reynolds. Wigan's running. Yeah, we've got Wakefield, Hull KR, the big one with Leeds, and then Catalan. Bradford not doing themselves any favours there because they tried getting an offload at the back of the hand that went forward, picked up by Bevan French. And they were only just outside their own 20. Crazy. Kerr comes in at dummy half, 5 yards out. Central spreads it right to Ellis. Ellis with a short pass to Connor. Four tackles gone. Bevan French gets it away to field. Now it's with Wardle. He's got Marshall. Doesn't need him. I'm glad he didn't let that pass go then. I thought he was going to let the pass go to Marshall and Marshall would have gone down a wedge into touch. But he kind of threw the dummy, created just that hesitation and he went through the gap. 8 tries this season for Jake Wardle. Another 4 on the board for the Warriors. And they'll be kicking themselves there, Will Bradford, because it came about from... They had field position outside their own 20, tried a crazy offload. You don't need to try that at that stage. Excuse me. You know, that's the kind of pass that you try when you're on a 3rd or 4th tackle and you're about 10 yards out from Wigan's line. Not deep inside your own half and you're losing by 16 points. I don't understand that. I know it's easy to say it when I'm sat in a chair here, but I just don't understand what he was thinking. And Garth Smith says, we seem to be missing Brad O'Neill tonight. We are, mate. He's got a suspension from that tip that he did last week. So he just got a 1-game red, so he got it retrospectively. He got 10 minutes in the bin, didn't he? And they've looked at it and said, yeah, you're getting a game ban for that. I didn't see what, I don't know if anybody else saw, why Sam Walters, he got a retrospective red, and because of his points top up now after his 7-game ban, he's got a 2-game suspension. So that's why tonight I was a little bit concerned when he had to go off Patrick Mago for that HIA. I thought, blimey, if we're going to have him, if he fails that, he'll get 7 days. So then he'll miss the Friday night game. Walters won't be able to play. But as it turns out, Walters won't play, but Patrick Mago will. Peter Cunliffe says, every opponent left on Wigan's schedule is fighting for either playoff seeding or survival, mate. It's not the best running, is it? I would certainly swap it with Leeds Rhinos any day of the week, without a shadow of a doubt. You know who Leeds got? York. Well, that's nothing. St Helens could be after that. They'll be a little bit buoyant as well now. Saints. They've got a lot to prove to the fans as well. So that could be a potential banana skin. It's giving me a little bit more hope. But the thing is, we haven't got Noah Hodgkinson now, have we? He's done for this season. With no Forber, he's done for the season. So we're just going to have to, it's the old cliche, isn't it, Wigan? We're going to have to focus on every game, just one game at a time. And ultimately, we don't want to be relying on anyone else taking points off Leeds. If we can take care of business ourselves, that's what we want to be doing. Chip kick comes in, taken by Jyfield on his own line, gets to about 5 yards out, and then he's been done. Aikens, Wacker Blake it was, stuck an arm out as field was going down into the face of Field, and he's been done for a high shot there as Wacker Blake, but he's a little bit unlucky because Field was already on his way down. Peter Cunliffe says, was cited for grade B, other contrary behaviour, widely reported to be... Is that what it was, mate? For her pulling incident during the... I said in the match, he's pulled his hair, he's going off for that, and I couldn't believe at the time that he didn't get pinged for it. Well, and he also had a hand in the face and almost scratched, bitch-like, down the player's face. So there'd obviously been something gone on there, because you don't just suddenly do that and then you don't try and scratch someone's eye, which it looked like to me he tried doing, and then pull his hair like he did, and he definitely did. So he didn't get away with it because he did him retrospectively. But that must have been beef from earlier on. Because he can be a little bit nasty, can't he, Sam Walters? Doesn't look like it, but he certainly can be. What was I going to say? Quick shout out, I hardly ever do it. There's 26 people watching. If I can ask you one favour, if you can please just hit that like button, I'd be ever so grateful. That's all I ask of you. YouTube loves a like, apparently, for the algorithm. It just says that the content I'm putting out is up to standard to earn your like. So that's all I ask. If you could please hit that like button, I'd be ever so grateful. Marshall, under 20. Slips, and that's where he'll be tackled. 3 tackles gone for Wigan. On their own 40, sorry. Thompson stopped just short of the halfway line. 4 tackles gone. I've also got I didn't add the 2 on before as well for the conversion. High kick comes in, taken by Aiken, he goes to ground, tackled by Mago. Right, let's sort this clock out as well, because that's slightly askew. Right, clock's up to date for you guys. Yeah, it's Ian says scores wrong. Hey, cheers, mate. Thank you for that. I just had it on. I would have been getting waylaid and waffling on about something else, and then as I've got older, my memory is shocking. I just laugh and I just go with it now. Long kick comes in there from Bradford, taking my field on his own 5. Now he lets that pass go to Marshall. Marshall gets up to almost a 20, so good little interchange there between Field and Marshall. Marshall lets another pass go to Eckersley. Just having a little spell at dummy half is Field, it looks like. He is indeed. Just letting Kerr get a little bit of breath into his lungs. And now with Field coming in at dummy half, just a little bit too quick to play the ball for Bradford. 1, 2, 3, 4 players offside. So a penalty to the Warriors on their own 40. That'll be a bit of relief. Dad says, will Frankie be with you on your golf? Possibly not. She went out to one of the pubs where we live in Ashburton, mate, this afternoon with a friend of hers into the Royal Oak, and they had a few sherbets. So she came home, cooked tea. I don't know if they're going in the hot tub later or... But there's another bottle of champagne being opened, so I doubt she'll be in my live stream tonight. Kieran stopped a yard short. You never know though, mate. It'd be funny if she did. There's a Bradford player gone down, holding his eye there. Not sure who it is. I think it might be Is it Lewis? Can't quite see. I think he got either kicked or a knee in his eye. Looked a painful one straight away. So we'll just sort that clock out. It is good that they let treatment continue while the game goes on, but as soon as the doctor's on, the play stops. So many good things about Rugby League that they've got right, And yeah, thanks for that. It's Ian, by the way. Appreciate it. Peter Cunliffe says, I was dirty, pal. Nearly snatched his head. Yeah. Did you used to play rugby league, Peter Cunliffe? I never played it. I only ever went training twice, regulars or no. It just wasn't for me. I was more bothered about who was going to nail me in the tackle than playing the game. And you can't do that. So stick to football, cricket. Now I like racing my bike, but that's not been out of its garage for too long. We're back underway. We're back underway. On the 10, Bevan French Central. Through the hands, that'll be a nice try there for McDermott. Far too easy. 4 points on the board. Set move from the Warriors there once again. Do you know, they've scored 3 tries today. All look like they've been from set moves. Which is good to see. 2 tries apparently for Cian McDermott. I had to laugh at Sky last time out when Bevan French went over. 1 try for him this season. Sky is not the limit. I love that new slogan we've got. My son came up with it today. He was going out on the beer and he said, got a slogan for you, Dad. Sky's not the limit. He said it's boring when you're watching it. He said it gets a bit boring. So he's trying to talk me into doing more streams. So I'm trying to talk him into helping me do more streams. So, oh no, I can't do it. I couldn't do that. And keep telling them it's just talking. They never shut up. Normal life, they never shut up. And yet as soon as there's a camera there, they will clam up. I don't understand it. Let's put them 4 points on the board. I don't want to keep Ian too busy. I'll put these on, mate. I'll be concentrating now as well. I'll hover over the 2. I've got to do all my own graphics so we don't get pinched or copyrighted. Which is fine. I don't mind doing it, but I've just got to remember to do it. 10 yards in from the left-hand side for Harry Smith. Ball's just inside the 20. Slots that one, no problem. Wigan move on to 28. Bradford. Still. Still to get on the score sheet. Daz Reynolds says, when's your Polish team play next? The mighty Wisła Kraków, mate. We're in action tomorrow evening. I think it's a 7:15 kickoff. Going to be a difficult game away as well, but back in the extra class of the Polish Premier League where we belong. Anyone who is watching from Poland tonight, Dzień dobry. Looking at the time, no. Dobry wieczór. Nie mówię po polski angielski, dziękuję bardzo. Wisła Kraków. Tak, jazda. Yeah, we kick off tomorrow night, mate, about I think it's 7:15. Cartwright with a good run there. Gets up to the Bradford 20. Bounced off the first tackle and he's got a big future, Cartwright, with Wigan. I can just tell it. I know he's only a young lad now, but he's got a massive future with that club. Just my opinion, you know. Maybe he won't, but I think he will. And when I had... I was looking back at some stuff from the start of this, some of my paperwork, and I was going through Wigan's team and their academy and who's probably going to be coming into the squad once we get injuries and what have you. And I'm just looking at it now, development, utility forwards and backs, and in there is Noah Hodkinson. Now when he's out of the team, he was part of the development squad, and now he's almost feels like he's been in this team for a long time and a major part of it. And it's a good job he had a good season with the amount of time Liam Marshall was out with that torn hamstring. Bradford on the 10, fifth tackle, put a chip into the corner, picked up by Jake Wardle. Tackles made, that's where Wigan will be starting from. Peter Cunliffe says, I played for Goulburn Park side, St Jude's at Wigan. Also played for Army while serving in the Grenadier Guards. Mate, I know Goulburn quite well, because my family have horses up that way. You're not a million miles from the Three Sisters, are you? So, I know that area quite well. Just off the East Lancs. Does the East Lancs still get as busy as it used to, or has it calmed down now? Harry Smith on the halfway line puts a kick in, it rolls down into touch. That'll be a handover to Bradford. That's one of the rule changes they brought in that I think's been really good. Bradford Bulls and the Lee Leopards heading to Las Vegas Saturday the 27th of February next year. That rule change where the ball, if it goes into touch now on the 5th, they've got it's just the straight handover, isn't it? Before they changed the rule, it used to be the scrum and slow the game down so you could get some oxygen in your lungs. Not anymore. Dazzy saying Pontefract is on ITV4 tomorrow. Is that the horse racing, mate? Is that part of the weekend thing they were doing? That's going to be a penalty to Bradford there, an early tackle by Eckersley, only by milliseconds, but referees give it. So it's on the halfway line, so they'll be starting on Wigan's 30. I wonder, do you know when you look, as he's saying it is, nice one mate, I like a bit of horse racing. We've done a few horse racing streams as well. Peter Cunliffe says, Dzień dobry. I should say back to you, dobry. They're in. Bradford have finally got that first try. And it was Akers, however you want to pronounce his name, just breaking through a tackle. And the Bradford fans are celebrating. Good to see some old style Bradford Bull shirts in there as well. I've got to say, I do like the old Bradford Bulls shirts much better than these new ones. First try for Andy Akers this season as well. So well done to him. Just looking at that when they got the penalty, I don't know why we're looking at it. It was a penalty. He was making contact with Eckersley early. Let's put them 4 points on the board for Bradford. Should be a pretty simple conversion to come, so we'll hover over the 2. Akers, my cousin's fellow brother, fellow Goulburn lad. Akers, my cousin, fellow brother Goulburn lad. I didn't know that's where he was from, mate. I've got to say. See, you learn so much. I learn more about sport from live chat than, or increase my knowledge, I should say. 2 points has been converted as well. So Bradford 6, Wigan 28. Has anybody who's in live chat, has everybody played Rugby League here, or is anyone like me just a fan of it? And I've only ever trained twice, and that was enough for me in Urmston. Smith gets us back underway. Do you know what he has got nailed? And it was noticeable last time out against Toulouse for the Warriors. He's got that kickoff nailed where he can get so much height on it. By the time it's being taken, it's the Wigan line is almost up to the 10. Kerr with a bit of a high tackle there. Just being milked a little bit, but I suppose we'll let you off. Stops the clock, lets the players get some air into the lungs. Clock stops on 63:16. I wonder if he's just taking his... Well, his gum shield wasn't flashing, so it's not registered anything. Fellow gold-born lad. Peter Cunliffe says, Danny Tickle is also a gold-born lad. I used to like Danny Tickle, mate. Danny Tickle. He was a character as well, wasn't he? Brutal as well. Daz Reynolds says, used to play the wheelchair version. Who for, Daz? Anybody? Major? Because I know the wheelchair rugby league, it's massive now, isn't it? Another set of 6 there, but that ball's going to play, so I don't know what the referee's going to do here, because it was Bradford in possession. Daz says North Wales Crusaders. Do you know, it's funny that when I was a youngster, probably about 11, I would say, because I hadn't quite started secondary school. My dad used to play football, and there was a five-a-side tournament they used to have on at a local school. So it was teams from all over used to come. It ran for weeks and weeks. And I used to go and watch it. And in one of the gyms at the back, they used to have wheelchair basketball. So I used to go and watch the wheelchair basketball. And there was a guy there, a couple of guys who said to me, oh, why don't you have a game, join in? Me being a bit dim said, well, I don't use a wheelchair. And it's like, well, you can sit in a wheelchair and play basketball. So he was like, oh yeah, all right then. So I did that. But it's harder than I thought, because I've not got strong wrists. I've got big hands, but not strong wrists. And trying to throw that ball, couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. But there's a lot of sports now for wheelchairs. The wheelchair tennis as well. The wheelchair tennis they've got at Wimbledon and what have you. You wouldn't think they'd get a rally going, but they certainly do. What am I missing in live chat? Daz, North Wales Crusaders. Peter Cunliffe. George Marsden also. Right. Ben Curry was Goldborn. A Goldborn Parkside lad. Liam Jones, Dave Leatherbarrett. Mate, it's an absolute hub, isn't it, for producing rugby league players. Is it St Jude's as well that's another breeding ground? And do you know, down here in the south of England, in Devon, it's all rugby union. And my son played for Newton Abbot All Whites, and I'd go and watch him, and I really, really enjoyed it and that. But it's too much stop-start. Too much. The ball goes out of play, and then it takes them 5 minutes while they sort of line out. Then there's a scrum. Sometimes that scrum doesn't move for 5 minutes. It collapses. They stand up. The referee warns them. They all reset, and it's like, oh, come on, get on with the game. And I don't know if people have heard this story before, but he stopped playing when he went to university. He stopped playing rugby union. Came back and he hadn't trained for a while, and they were trying to get some rugby league going down here in Devon, and they asked him if he'd play in a friendly game of rugby league at a rugby union club. So he said, yeah, I'll play. Like, he played about 10 minutes. He said he was hanging out of his arse. He said the pace is so much more different than rugby union. I think Taylor Kerr has got over there. He's bounced through the contact and kept his momentum going. I think he's pretty down on the line. He has. Good effort there from the blonde-haired warrior. That'll be 4. No need to go upstairs for that one either. So it will be another 4 on the board for Wigan. Moves them up to 32. And it should be a pretty simple conversion to come as well for... for Harry Smith. I'm just looking at how he got the space. He picked the ball up himself from dummy half and he went through. There's 3 Bradford Bulls players there and he's gone right through 3 of them. That's poor defence, that, from Bradford. I mean, a good try from Kerr, but not good enough from Bradford. Peter Cunliffe says Liam Jones, Dave Leatherbarrow, St Jude, St Pat's, Lee Miners. Do you know a club in Lee, Peter? Called the... I don't even know if it's there now. I'm going back to 1990. I come out of the forces then. It would have been 1990. I'm trying to think when I went. Say 1990 to 94, something like that. It used to be called the Limelight Club in Lee. The Limelight Club. Some of my friends were from Lee, and so they'd say, "Oh, come up and have a pint with us." I'd say, "Where are we going?" They'd go, "Oh, the Dimlit." And I say, "Well, I've never heard of it, the Dimlit." And they say, "Yeah, the Limelight Club. It's a bit of a dive, so we call it the Dimlit." But I never went a couple of times. I had a couple of good nights in there. Harry Smith with the conversion, 2 points added. So Wigan, yeah, up to that 34. Do you know, they literally could, with just under 11 minutes on the clock, I could see them putting another 3 tries on Bradford, because Bradford look like they're a little bit out on the feet now. 3 players in the tackle there didn't really have the strength or the energy to keep Kerr out. I've just got to adjust my clock. Peter says, Oral St James produced some good ones. Andy Farrell, Johnny Lomax, Terry Newton. Terry Newton, mate, blimey. Terry Newton liked a bit of a tear up, didn't he? Do you remember Neil Cowie as well? I always remember Neil Cowie from the days of when the players used to wear... Do you remember they went through that spell of wearing shoulder pads? And I always remember when Neil Cowie put that... he'd kicked that drop goal, turned round laughing his head off. And he looked like John Collins because he had the shoulder pads in. I'm sure it was him. You know what is scary as well? I saw something the other day. I think it was I think it was on Wigan's website. They were wishing Fran O'Botic a happy birthday. And I didn't look to see how old he was. I didn't want to depress myself. Another set of 6 here for Bradford. They're on the halfway line. Now they're over Wigan's 40/30 on this pitch. Peter says, were you in the forces? I was, mate. Only briefly. Only a couple of weeks. I didn't like getting shouted at, so I came away. But then, no, I did my training and that, and then got an offer to go and do other stuff, so did that. But that's another story for another day. 1982. No, I wasn't in 80. I signed when I was 15, and I was born in 71. Born in 71, so I would have been in when I was in 1980. Blimey, I would have been in when you would only been. Oh, you were born in 82. I was going to say that I would have missed you, because. But I'm thinking if you were born in 82, would have missed you by a long time, mate. Yeah, in the guards, nice shiny boots. Tony Mayron says, shoulder pads and nose clips. Don't see the nose clips anymore. That's gone out of fashion, hasn't it? I've never tried it, I've got to say. I should have done. Like when I was racing my bike, because often you forget to... Sounds mad, doesn't it? But you forget to breathe sometimes, and a nose clip on would have done me a favour. We've got the doctor on, so we've got to just stop that clock. It doesn't look good. Who is that? Number 12? We haven't got number 12 on there. I think there was a cock up with the numbers as well from the BBC. Who is that number 12? It looks like as soon as he's landed, he's done some real damage to himself. It's not Fulton, is it? I don't know. Yeah, Tony Warren nose clips. Tony Warren, do you remember the thing I'm on about when Cowie dropped that drop goal? He did have shoulder pads on, didn't he? I wasn't... It's not my memory going that bad. And Martin Lawrenson says 84-92. Sigs and Intel. Chipped over to the right hand side by Bradford. Knocked back. That ball's come loose. Still in possession. Bradford on the fifth. They've got an overlap down that left hand side, but Wigan have covered it. Do you know, I often think if I know what I know now, and I wouldn't have joined the army, I would have probably joined the navy. Wigan in possession. Brought forward by Wardle. There's about a 5-yard gap between, it annoys me, between the 30 and the 40-yard line. Another set of 6 for Wigan. Right, what have I missed in live chat? Tony Meeran, yeah, with pads and nose clips. Martin Lawrenson, 84-92. Signals and Intel. Nice one, mate. It's Ian. Even if Wigan doesn't win anything this season, title-wise, you can't be disappointed in the future of Wigan with the youth coming through for Super League. Just keeping them from going to the NRL. Mate, I was having this conversation... what day was it? Saturday. I was having it on Thursday with the bloke and talking about something almost the same. Not just for Wigan though, with Super League. It comes back to the wage cap. We produce players, and the NRL, they can offer them so much more. And what you've hit the nail on the head, mate. Unless we can compete with wages, and at the end of the day, if it was people playing for the love of the game, then the money may not come into it. But when it's your career, and you've probably got a missus at home and maybe kids, and you get offered so much more money, it'd be a bit of a no-brainer not to take it. So why were we supposed to compete with teams from the NRL when our wage cap is something like a third of what the Aussies can offer? It's just a real... I've just got to sort this clock out again. I don't want to become anal about it, but I just think I feel like I need to have it right for you guys who aren't watching it, and now I've got to pause it again because there's a challenge coming up, Captain's Challenge. Yeah, how are we going to keep hold of the likes of a Noah Hodkinson, an Austin Daniel, you know, a Shea O'Connor? As they start progressing and getting better, they'll get suddenly an offer to move countries as well, which I suppose is a little bit of a draw. Where's the incentive for us? What can we offer? Excuse me, what can we offer these players because we can't compete with the wage cap? It's disappointing. Garth Smith says, I saw an interview with Joe Lydon this week. I was amazed to see he was bold. Time goes so fast. Mate, yeah, I still see these players as, you know, in your mind's eye when you think of these players and your computer brings them up, you still see him with that dark hair, slender, you know, running from fullback, and it is a bit of a shock. But I did see something. Bradford are just a yard out. I did see something that made me chuckle. So Steptoe and Son, the dad Albert, he was the same age in them when Steptoe was being done as something like say what is David Beckham now in his 50s or something like that. It's like times have changed, haven't they, for sure. You know, people are living longer, thankfully, and looking better, getting older. I suppose it's better food, better healthcare, or more food. I'm not saying necessarily better, but more food. What else? Peter Cunliffe, name don't rings any bells. Signed in 1999. Peter Cunliffe, number 12, Zach Fulton. Cheers for that, Peter. I got the number wrong, and I had it as 12, and they put it out as 11 on the BBC, so I changed it. Shouldn't have done. Peter Cunliffe said Neil Cowie did a drop goal for Bradford. I thought it was for Wigan, mate. Are you sure? I'm sure it was for Bradford. I might be wrong. I'm sure it's for Wigan. It might have been Bradford, and I'm just getting more stuff wrong. Oh, ankle tap there, just as McDermott was going to get over for his second try. He stopped about 1.5 foot short. Shea O'Connor drives it forward up to the 10. 4 tackles gone. Peter Cunliffe in 2000 against Wigan. That must have been what it was, mate. That must have been what it was. Wrapped up on the 5th there. It'll be the handover about 2 yards short. Bradford will be in possession. Yeah, that must have been what it was. I just thought it was for Wigan. In my mind's eye, I can still see him though in the white and blue of Wigan. I'll check it. I'm not saying you're wrong, mate, but I'll double check it for my own sanity. Right, what am I missing? Daz Reynolds says, if Wigan win tonight, where do they go? If Wigan win tonight, mate, they'll go joint top, but we won't go on top because of that far superior points difference that Leeds have got. Tony Mayron says, I remember the shoulder pads and how weird they looked. Didn't last long. No, it didn't, mate. I just have to stop this. We've got another pause because I think the doctor's on. There's Hooley looks like he's in some trouble. Yeah, it started to go a little bit like American football, didn't it? We had some players playing in scrum caps. I don't blame them either for doing that. Then we were getting the shoulder pads and... Oh, it looks like he's done something bad to his leg there, Hooley. It says he twisted. Let's hope that's not a season ender. Yeah, Tony Maybrand didn't last long, thankfully. Peter Cunliffe says, we stay second on point stars. Carl Smith says, no, it was for Wigan. For Wigan against the Bulls. Yeah, I thought it was for Wigan. I can see him in the white top. Not the cherry and white, the white top with the blue. Well, Hooley there, he's up, but he's hobbling. And it says, who was it who tackled him there? It looks like it was Adam Kieran. Spun round and it looks like he's maybe tweaked his knee a bit, but he's hobbling off. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. It's the internal damage, isn't it? If he's done the ligaments, maybe he's just tweaked them. We're back underway. Just a couple of minutes to go now. I just don't want any injuries for Wigan. I'm not bothered about more tries. Just don't want any injuries. It's gone out on the full there as well by Bradford. Peter Culniff says better work conditions. Yeah, definitely. Tony Maron says the Australia thing has been a problem for a long time. Some come back the following year. The young players have been phenomenal this year. Mate, haven't they just? Haven't they just? And I'm interception there by Bradford. That'll come to naught though. Yeah. There's so many Wigan players now that I'm looking forward to seeing. I still think though, in this off season, we need to make a few signings. I know Matt Pete says, he's happy with what's coming through the squad, and that's fine, but I don't want to end up in a situation what's worse St Helens are now, and it's only a few bad decisions in it, and a few injuries, and suddenly you're having an absolute garbage season. The players that are coming through are under pressure and they don't develop as they should. So he's trying to do it in a controlled way. Little grubber kick comes through there, picked up by Mago. He's about a yard in front of the post. Just take your time now. We just want one more tackle. Just walk into the tackle. Ollie Partington does just that. Right, who are people thinking man of the match today? That's it. Wigan run out 34 points to 6 winners. Gav Smith says man of the match, Jimmy. Difficult one today. Not really seen much of Jai Field. I think Taylor Kerr did well coming in for Brad O'Neill. Eckersley had a good game once again, as he always does. But I'm going to give it to someone a little bit different, and I'm going to go with number 23, Cian McDermott. I'm going to go with Cian McDermott because he's when he came on, he's what's going on there? To sort that out. Yeah, I think he got his try, and it always goes to you can always go to the same people, can't you? You can always go to Bevan French, Eckersley, Harry Smith. But I think the work that he did, he got his try. He was unlucky he didn't get a brace. He was ankle tapped and stopped that far short. So for a little bit of a change, because nobody really stood out for Wigan today. I know we've got Wardle with a try. French. Kerr had a good game coming in for O'Neill, but I'm going to go with Cian McDermott. It's Ian says, do you think Farrell has played his last game? Do you think Farrell has played his last game for Wigan? No, I can't see him getting back into the squad, even though his contract runs out in 2027. Should he hang up his boots for the youth? Mate. It looks like they're giving the Betfred man of the match to Kerr. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think he did really well coming in, like I said. It's Ian. What are you doing to me? I wanna say no. He's a club captain, and my heart says no because he's a club captain, and I think he's got another season in him, and I think he can help bring the youngsters. He can help bring the youngsters through. But that's my heart. My head. Let's just turn this down. Oh, it's Ian. What are you doing to me, mate? What are you doing? my head says that, yeah, he should. Maybe... It depends. This injury he's got, it looks like a nothing injury, but it's quite a bad one, isn't it? And it's whether it's how he's going to recover. Is he going to be Wigan, a one club? Is he going to be a one club player? I think he would like to be, and I don't see him. I think if he's fit to play, he'll play for Wigan and see out his contract. Excuse me. I think if he's not fit to play for Wigan, I don't think he'll go elsewhere. Where what I mean is where he can play, but the expectations are maybe not quite as high. If he can get back fit, I'd like to see him play out for next season to bring the youngsters on. What I would say is, here's a question for you. Let me know in live chat, everybody who's in there, and it's a serious question. Do you think we have missed Liam Farrell when he's not been in this team? And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that we have. You know, when you think with no Junior Nsemba yet, you've got Nsemba to come back into this team. You look at the players who are coming through. I think another season, but with the mind of bringing the youngsters through and not playing sort of 20 games a season. You know, and as club captain, he doesn't rest a lot, does he? He's got so much experience, though, hasn't he? Oh, that's such a tricky question. I wasn't expecting that, mate. Good question, and you've caught me out with that, I've got to say. Peter Cunliffe says, I reckon Farrell still plays well. I think Marshall making a lot of errors lately. Agree with you there, Peter Cunliffe, but he's come back after that 12-week plus layoff with his hamstring, and I think to come back into it and hit the ground running with players who have been week in, week out, I think he just needs another game maybe. Even today, he's looking better today, and he's looking more solid and secure under that high ball today. He only had a couple of high balls he needed to take today, but I get the feeling if he was to be targeted and put under pressure, I think he'd deal with it better now than he would have done against, say, Toulouse. I think purely he just needs game time under his belt. Peter Cunliffe may go RJ. Ooh. Do you know something? I'm not now, and I can tell you exactly the time that my thoughts changed on this. When Wigan played against OKR and we played the youth, they played the young lads. I was disappointed with Mago and the effort that he put in, and he didn't sort of lead the way I would have liked him to. I don't know if he had a bit of a monk on because he was playing in that game, and I might be doing him a real disservice, and I don't want to do that. But it's just that gut instinct that I got. And I've seen him do some real... Last season, he came on and he changed games. He changed the game against Hull KR when we won. Mago came on and changed that game in Wigan's favour towards the end of the season. This season, I don't see him doing that. I've seen him make some ridiculous offloads that have cost tries for Wigan. I've seen him get sidestepped where he just put his knee down, waiting for the contact, and they've just stepped around him. And I don't understand what that's all about. So, Peter Cunliffe, I wouldn't choose Mago. Peter Cunliffe says, Eckersley's my favourite at the moment. I totally get that, mate. Totally get that. he's a machine on this side. And do you know the other thing that we're talking about Wigan now, but Abbas Miski's back playing, isn't he? Did I see him playing for the reserves the other day? We've not had Abbas Miski this season. We've not had Liam Marshall for, what was it, 13 weeks or something like that. You take Miski and Marshall out of this team and you look where we are now, I think it's full credit to the Wigan Warriors as to where they are and still pushing for that League Leaders Shield. And that's why when teams come out and they start mourning that we've got injuries, St Helens, yeah, all right, well, have better youth then. Develop better youth. You know, look at Warrington. They've had an absolute shocker. They're just cracking on with it. It's all part of the season. You're going to get injuries. So, but I think it's been an absolute... I think we've found a little gem in Noah Hodkinson, and that come through Liam Marshall's injury. And so out of adversity, sometimes you get a diamond, don't you? It's Ian says they need to keep him to help train and pass his knowledge off the field, but his experience on that field is hard. I don't think we have missed him as much. I can't argue with you, it's Ian. I can't argue with you. But like you said, off the field, he can teach them all sorts of dark arts that, unless you've played the game, and I haven't, they'll be out there, and people who have played the game will spot them. But I wouldn't. I'd miss it a mile off. So yeah, he could pass that on. Tony Mayren says, I don't know. The strength and depth of our squad this year has me quite happy. When they introduced Eckersley last season, I said to my wife that he didn't look out of place in the first team. Well, mate, honestly, Tony, he doesn't, does he? And it's only, what is it, last season when he really got his chance and he's grabbed it by both hands. And now, if he's not in the team, I think him and Adam Kieran down that right-hand side, and you can put, when he's not injured, you can put Noah Hodkinson there. You can put Noah Hodkinson on the left if you need to. So through this adversity, we've got these youngsters coming through. But I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Austin Daniel. I'm really, you know, we've got Lucas Mason. I'm just looking at the Wigan squad now. We've got the Yeomans. It's just, you know, Nathan Law got his try, didn't he, against Hull KR? Then, unfortunately, he got that. I thought he broke his leg, you know, the way he went off and went down, but obviously it was just a nasty, real bad hamstring. But, yeah, the future is exciting for Wigan, but I just hope we don't have that transition from this team now and then try and bring in too many youngsters in one go. I hope we can do that transition in a phased way where it naturally happens. We'll find out if they're going to. Obviously, at the end of this season, we've got to offload Sam Eze Jr. According to Matt Pete, and you can only take him at his word. He didn't want to, but the wage cap once again strikes. Didn't want to get rid of Cruz Leeming once again. The wage cap strikes because he definitely wanted Ollie Partington, didn't he? So you want Ollie Partington, someone's got to go. And unfortunately for Cruz Leeming, it was him. But then when you look at Forber, when I always think who steps up to the plate when you need them. And when Wigan needed Forber to step up to the plate against Hull KR, I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was really, really good. Just looking at the rest of the squad now, you know, like I said, no Nsemba, no Farrell at the moment, no Walters for another game after this, no Abbas Miski. You know, we've got Farrimond. Farrimond's going to be an absolute star, isn't he? I mean, he's already getting that way when he plays now, but in the future, Jack Farrimond is going to be an absolute stalwart for Wigan. And that's where it comes back to what was said in live chat. Can Wigan keep hold of these youngsters that are coming through that are going to be stars? Live chat. Peter Cunliffe said, thanks for entertaining us. Catch you again. The team have done well, no matter who's been out. Mega RJ, that was my response for man of the match. You know, I get that, mate. Definitely not Mago. But if I had to have one of them to go, it would definitely be Mago. And I got sidetracked, mate, with that performance he's put in against Hull KR, and then I've seen some of the offloads he's done, and I went onto my track of the year before he won us the game against Hull KR, and I think he's on a downhill trajectory, Patrick Mago. I genuinely do. So the good news is we've got players coming through who can take over his shoes. I agree. Phasing is so important. Yeah, it doesn't matter what sport it is, does it? Whether it's cricket, whether it's football, it can be anything. If you throw the youngsters in too soon, you can just destroy the whole career. And you get people who will say, well, if they can't cope, they're not good enough. But I don't think that's quite fair, because to me, it's setting people up to fail. And I don't think that's what we want to be doing as Wigan fans and as sport fans. And that's why I got fed up the other week with England cricket, when Ben Stokes, the tool, and Gus Atkinson, they got caught in the nightclub, all right, so they got banned for a test match. And what do? At the last minute, they throw in Fisher and Baker and say, right, go on, lads, now's your opportunity. Midway through a test series against New Zealand, just absolutely setting them up to fail. So yeah, but I don't want to get down that road. That'll save that for the cricket next week. We've got 5 days of test cricket coming up. Peter Cunliffe says Noah Ace as well. You're right there. Yeah, mate. He's become like, I've said this before about him. Marcus Rashford, when he was at United, he was about the 5th striker, not even looking like getting a sniff. And the right number of injuries meant he was forced into that team, and he just grabbed his opportunity by the bollocks, didn't he? And now you look at him, and he's still a miserable get. Doesn't look like he enjoys football. But I'll tell you something quickly before I go. So my youngest son, he's nearly 22 now, plays rugby union, and a couple of the lads that he played with have gone on to play professional and international. And he came back from the gym the other night with one of them, and he said, the interesting thing is, he said, both of them have said the rugby is not as enjoyable as when we were playing in the Colts just before they went to the men's, and then just into the men's. Because it's the jobs now, the careers, everything they eat is monitored, it's just regimented. So the rugby is not as enjoyable. I'm not saying they don't enjoy playing rugby or the job, but the rugby they're playing is not as enjoyable as when they were playing, having to pay to play, as the saying goes. So I just thought that was really interesting. Right, I'm going to go and get ready to start the golf at 9 o'clock. Thanks to everybody who's joined me in live chat. It's been an absolute blast, and it's been my pleasure to share this Saturday evening with you. Please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell, and if you can give us a thumbs up, that'd be absolutely wonderful. I'll look forward to seeing you for the next one, which will be next Friday night, 8 o'clock, Wigan and Wakefield. Are Wakefield going to bounce back now? And is this a good thing that St Helens have dicked them today? Maybe not. And yeah, mate, Marsden injured. George Marsden, yeah. Absolutely looking forward to seeing him play as well. He's like another star in the making. From what I've seen of him so far, he's got that brain, and you can tell that he's done a lot of work with Harry Smith. You can just tell the way that he kind of tries reading the game the same, and that's perfect what you want. Somebody like Harry Smith, who's just signed a 4-year contract and coming to his peak, bringing on someone like George Marsden. Oh, That's utopia for Wigan and us as Wigan fans. Right, I'm going to shoot. Thanks ever so much. I'll be back on at 9 o'clock, but from my living room this time. I'm sat out in my studio, which is my shed. I'm going to go and get in my comfy chair, have a brew, and watch the golf. Thanks to everyone who's joined me. Really do appreciate it. Bye for now.